This is the game plan. Let's go. When the team's on the air, you better know that it's over. These dudes colder than wintertime, grab a pullover. And if Cordell starts to speak, better know that it's on. He shut you down before you speak to let you know that you're wrong. So get your facts right, homie, before you step in the flames. Because James hates sitting down and listening to lames. And if Danny got $1 for every show that he kills, he'd be a millionaire living up in Beverly Hills. But if Holden wasn't a good guy, you'd probably be dead. Because this dude won't stop until he gets in your head. So turn the volume right up, because the game plan is on. The best in sports commentary is right after this song. Peace.
Welcome into another episode of the Game Plan. As always, I'm your host, Cordell Moody, alongside with me, Eric Alvarado. Eric, we've been gone all week. Technical difficulties, upgrading different things. It has been too long since we've talked. Way too long.
Yeah, it's been a while. It feels like it's been centuries. But we're back. We're better than ever. And let me just tell you, there's nothing better than the month of October for sports fans. There's nothing
better. I
better.
beg to differ.
There is nothing better. We can debate it.
Differ.
There is nothing better than the month of October. You got playoff baseball. You're almost midway through the NFL season. Basketball started up.
I guess you know what?
Hockey fans got
hockey's going
too.
on. So you know what? I guess for me personally,
what month would be better?
You're right. I retract my statement because obviously for me, I'm not really thinking much about baseball and hockey. So for me, I like when the NBA season is down the road and they're more in the heat of things, while the NFL season is in the heat of things. That's my favorite time.
Going on, baby. And shout out to all my Yankees fans out there.
Oh boy, so much sports. Everything has gone way fast, and there's so much that we got to catch up with. So that's why tonight we are having a 2-hour special for you ladies and gents to make up for the withdrawal that we've given you. So we're going to get straight into it.
Ourselves.
Yeah, so we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to talk about winners and losers. Now, we normally do this on Wednesdays or Tuesdays, get winners and losers for the weekend. But since it's been so long, we're just going to do winners and losers from our last show, last Friday, to today, which is obviously Friday. So week, winners and losers. Eric, who do you have as your winner for the week?
You know what? I was gonna give it to the Giants just for getting their first win.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, my winners for the week are the Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia.
And this is for a couple reasons. Now, they get a big win in Carolina, right?
Yep.
And with all the injuries that went on, and none more important probably to Aaron Rodgers, right? Now we can almost I don't want to get too far into it, but we can almost count Green Bay out. And I feel like now, with Atlanta also losing to Miami, Philadelphia is the team to beat in the NFC. And I think just this was a week that a lot of things happened for them, and that now they solidified themselves as the number one in the NFC. So they're my winners for this week. You don't agree?
I don't mind it. It's not like I'm sitting here and I'm going to argue with you on who it is.
Don't argue with me. You never win.
Get out of my face. Get out of here. So if I have to choose a winner for the week, I will have to go in a different direction than you. A little bit different.
You always go broad. You always go big picture on me.
I was not going big picture. I'm just kind of pointing out the obvious. So before I go into my winner, who do you have as your loser for the week?
My loser for the week is, for what I had stated already, is the Green Bay Packers for them losing their franchise quarterback. I don't think could be any other bigger loser than that, honestly.
Okay. So your loser is the Green Bay Packers. My winner is Brett Hundley. That is my winner for the week. And it's simple. He now has the opportunity to shine. He's
got the reins.
He has the reins, and he has it for the whole season, he can either bring his stock down or he can bring it up. That is a huge gift to him.
Yeah.
It's one man's curse, another man's treasure. That's exactly what it is. So for me, huge winner. I have two winners though, because I don't want to leave out my man. I believed in him all along. APAD.
Yeah. Hey.
Great game. We'll get into it more later. But
flashback, huh?
Yep, I loved it. So he's definitely a winner to me. In his first game, only a couple of games with this team in the Cardinals, and he comes out and is like, "Hey Saints, what are you doing? This is what I could have been doing for you guys." So two huge winners. Now, my loser, Gordon Hayward. My God, man. My God.
Yeah.
5 minutes into the opener, and he is gone. And we'll talk more about him too later. But man, that's another one for me.
Arguably the worst injury in basketball I've seen.
And that's tough because, well, you know what? I don't even want to get into it. Well, I'll definitely get into it more. I'm glad you
I
did
also
bring
don't
it up.
want to rank the gruesomeness of injuries either. It sounds a bit wrong to be getting entertainment out of other people's pain.
Very true, very true. Oh, man. So we've had a lot of games. We just talked winners and losers. What is your biggest upset of the week? NBA or NFL? Biggest upset that happened this week?
I think I would have to go with the Giants beating the Denver Broncos. I think that's fair. I could always go with Kansas City dropping the game to Pittsburgh in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
But, Pittsburgh is a great team. So, and they could beat anybody on any given night, given they play to their full potential.
True.
But the Giants, on the other hand, are totally decimated on both ends of the football. Well, no, not so much on their defense, but on the offense, I don't think there was anybody out there that he might not even known anybody's name that he was throwing balls to.
Mm-hmm.
He might have just met him that week. And somehow they get their running game going, and their offense looks good. I'm pretty sure McAdoo handed over the reins of the play calling, and boom, they get a win. They look like they have some life in them, and they beat a Denver Broncos team in Denver. So not something that I thought would happen. Definitely an upset for me.
Well, I don't want to. I could piggyback off you, but I'll let you have that one, and I'll come up with a different one. So mine is going to be Miami taking down the Falcons. The Falcons are now 0-2 against AFC East opponents, with the Patriots coming to town.
Yeah.
So will they go 0-3 against the AFC East? And if they do, then maybe, just maybe, we should be having a conversation about the AFC East more, because they're taking down the number one team in the NFC South. All of them. Unless the Jets don't. There is a hope maybe the Jets don't take them down. But if the Patriots take them down, they go 0-3, then they face the Jets.
I know.
That'll
Listen,
say something.
All in all, it's a very weird year in the NFL.
It is, but that makes it so exciting.
NFL math just doesn't work when you're like, okay, this team beat this team, so they should beat this team. That doesn't work ever. It's week to week, and you never know what's going to happen, and that's the beauty of the league.
This year is way more exciting than any of the years past that I can remember, and it's because of all the injuries that's happening. It's because of the drama outside of the NFL that's into the NFL. It's because there's no definitive dominant team this year. There's no undefeated teams. Everybody's got a loss. Everybody's scratching and crawling. The Patriots aren't dominating this year. You just don't know what's going to happen, and that makes for such exciting football.
It's never a dull week in NFL, and there's never a shortage of drama.
Exactly, my man, exactly. And we just talked about it before. We just got into our biggest upsets of the week. But when we were talking about our winners and losers, we were getting into injuries a little bit. Let's get back to that. Let's talk about these injuries. You already brought up Aaron Rodgers. So are you saying Aaron Rodgers is out, Packers are done? Not even to the playoffs, nothing, because they were somewhat Super Bowl favorites. Now Aaron Rodgers is out. I can understand not making the Super Bowl, but are you saying no playoffs, nothing, they're just done?
Done. I mean, listen, I find it really hard to believe that this team can bounce back from losing Aaron Rodgers. Now, good for this kid, Hundley, getting, the keys to the kingdom. But this team is built around Aaron Rodgers' skill set. You know what I mean? A lot of broken plays, a lot of backyard football type deals. It's totally built to how Aaron Rodgers plays. And I'm really interested to see how this kid does. And if you don't remember, this is exactly how Aaron Rodgers got his gig.
Yes.
Sat behind the scenes for a couple years, got his chance, and showed the world who he was. Now, it'd be far-fetched to say that Brett Hundley
Wouldn't be far-fetched. Dak Prescott did it last year.
Yeah, but Dak Prescott even isn't Aaron Rodgers. I mean, to the caliber of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, well, yes, okay. Yeah,
it's a little fair to put, for him to step into those type of shoes. But, maybe he can come into his own. He's got some weapons.
Then
the team is built for success. The only thing, as I've stated before, is that defense really worries me.
Okay. So I completely respect where you're coming from, but I'm going in the other direction.
Oh, you think they have a chance?
I have a chance. They can still get a wild card spot, or they can win this division.
That's bold because there's not many teams that could lose a player like Aaron Rodgers and still compete for a playoff spot.
They're gonna do it, and we're gonna sit back and we're gonna watch this unfold. The Vikings, until they.
Is this a hot take?
Yes, this is it right here. This is it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, hot take. Everybody.
Yep. Listen in. I'm calling it right now, so that when time comes,
Brett Hundley throws for. He goes off. You think they don't skip a beat?
No. I'm not saying they don't skip a beat. They're going to skip a beat. He's not going to come in here and be Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to disrespect Aaron Rodgers like that. I'm saying just like when Brady went down and Castle came in and they were still able. They did not win their division. Went 11-5, didn't win their division. I don't think they made the playoffs that year. Or no, maybe they did as a wild card. I can't remember right now. They went 11-5. I know they didn't win the division. Jets won the division that year. I'm saying it's something like that. That's going to happen here again. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to make the Super Bowl, but I think they can get to the playoffs still with this young guy at quarterback steering this team in the right direction. And if that happens, then obviously you're going to keep Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to trade him. But now you got this young guy who you can put on the trading block for next year, add another draft pick or whatever have you. That's how I see this. They're not going to keep this kid if he plays well.
They'll keep him.
He's not going to want to. If there's one thing,
if one, well, maybe, but listen.
And what's the point?
Listen to this. One thing that I can tell you about the Green Bay Packers is that they always promote from within.
Yes, they do.
Always from within. And they're going to do, if this kid looks promising, they're going to do whatever it takes to keep him.
No, they can't. It's impossible to keep him. And
it's not impossible.
This is why it is impossible.
So you think he plays himself right out of Green Bay and he lands himself in, say,
Cleveland.
No, because Cleveland already invested a draft pick in Kaiser, even though I'm pretty sure they're going from Kaiser to Hogan.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
Big mess.
Yeah, so
maybe like a San Fran.
Yeah, even a San Fran. Yep, absolutely. And the reason I'm saying this is because that it's impossible for them to keep him if he should go off is the same reason why it is impossible for the Patriots. Well, it's actually not impossible for the Patriots to keep Garoppolo, but it is because Tom Brady is 41. So Tom Brady is towards the end of his career. Aaron Rodgers is not, and that's why I'm saying Garoppolo, his contract may come to an expiration after Tom Brady is ready to retire. And if that's the case, it's good. But in Aaron Rodgers' case, Aaron's got a lot of football left in him. That contract's going to expire.
And going to Garoppolo, if I were him, I would take pennies to stay in New England.
Yes, absolutely.
For however long it might take, I would take pennies.
And because we know that there's a time limit already on Tom Brady, but Aaron Rodgers,
the clock is ticking, and it might be within the next couple of years.
Exactly. Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm saying.
He should stay put for whatever the cost is.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying in this situation, it's kind of like the Matt Castle situation, completely, because Tom Brady had plenty of years left in him. So obviously you're not going to keep Matt Castle, trade him while he's hot, get something for him. It's the same situation. He's going to play well, Trade him while
He's
hot.
got to play well. That's the key thing. He's got to play well, obviously.
He
first.
will.
Listen, you can't just say he will, but I'm going to take your take, and I hope everybody hears it. And after this week's games, we're going to hold Cordell to his words.
Even if he has a bad game this week, I will still remain with this take. His first game and he has a bad one, that's okay.
Reminding you. We will continue to remind you
okay.
that you were the biggest believer in Hundley.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? It always hurts, to see a star player like Aaron Rodgers go down, or any star player for that matter.
Yeah.
It's just it's not good for the league. It's not. It hurts to watch. And especially this week we got Green Bay and New Orleans coming up. That's supposed to be Aaron Rodgers versus Drew Brees.
It is. It is.
The gunslingers themselves. That's like great TV, and now we don't get that. That hurts.
It does, but it does make it more exciting. Like I keep saying, man, things just keep on getting more exciting with these injuries. These young guys come in because of these injuries, and that's how we learn about them. So
that's cool. Yeah, we get to learn, but it's not more fun. I mean, obviously, you'd rather see Aaron Rodgers out there than Hundley.
I guess. I already know what Aaron Rodgers is going to give me. That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, he's going to give you excitement every week.
I guess you can say there's two different ways you can look at excitement. You can look at excitement as
Aaron Rodgers is. There's no doubt, and if you are going to sit here and doubt his excitement, I'm going to say that you have no pulse.
All right, let me rephrase it for everybody out there. What I'm saying is that I know what I'm going to get from Aaron Rodgers. What excites me is the unknown. The unknown is what excites me. So I'm saying we're talking about two different excitements here. I'm saying the unknown is exciting to me. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't play exciting football. I'm just saying this unknown that I don't know anything. I don't know what to expect. That's fun.
Once you know that this kid's terrible,
then the excitement would change.
We don't know. Best of luck to Hundley.
But he's not but I don't want to stick too much on Aaron Rodgers. That's not the only biggest injury. The other huge injury I would say that's happened, not football related, is Gordon Hayward. But not only Gordon Hayward goes down, but also Jeremy Lin went down as well. Both of them. Yep, both done for the season.
Well, leggings.
Yes. So I'm like sitting here and I'm like, man, maybe this isn't just an NFL injury-prone season. Like this is just an injury year for everybody. Stars are dropping like flies no matter what league we're talking about. So with Gordon Hayward being down, are they done too? Just like you said, the Packers are done, or the Boston Celtics done because they lost Gordon Hayward? You giving them another chance? What are you, even with Kyrie there? They got Marcus Smart, they got Tatum, they got some young bucks there,
Yes, right. Fortunately for Boston, they have a better chance of succeeding without that star player in Gordon Hayward than Green Bay does without Aaron Rodgers. And that's because they have great talent still on that roster. And obviously, when you lose quarterback, most important position in all football, when you lose that hurts your team tremendously. Losing one player in basketball, unless you're talking about the very select few people like LeBron and such, your team is gonna not suffer as much as others. So losing Gordon Hayward, I don't think it's gonna hurt. They looked pretty good even without him. Tatum looked great. Jaylen Brown was out there dropping buckets. Kyrie did his thing. They have a solid team. The one thing I will say, though, losing Avery Bradley in the offseason is really going to hurt this team.
I never liked their trade. I don't want to go, throwback all the way to when the trade happened, but I never liked the Kyrie trade in the first place. I thought they gave up too much. They gave up way too much to me to get Kyrie over, because to me, Kyrie and Isaiah Thomas, they both give you basically the same amount of production. That's the way I see it. Kyrie Irving is going to put up as much points as Isaiah Thomas did for the Boston Celtics, and Isaiah Thomas will put up the same amount of points that Kyrie did for Cleveland. It's going to be a complete wash. Now, defensively, you can have that conversation. I don't believe that,
but I'm not too sure about that. And now look at it with Isaiah Thomas out with an injury. Boston's looking like the winners of this trade
for right now. But if Isaiah Thomas comes back and he's still Isaiah Thomas, if they didn't give away so much, to get Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward goes down, they still have a better chance. Right now, they are a worse team with Kyrie than they were when they had Isaiah and all those boys.
No, they're a better team.
They're a better team right now with no Hayward, no Gordon Hayward, and just Kyrie. They're a better team right now than they were last year. That's what you're telling me.
With no Gordon right now, it's a little too soon to say. I'm gonna project that they are going to be a better team still without Gordon Hayward. I like all of the pieces they got there. A lot of their younger pieces, I'm a big fan of. Listen, that production that Gordon Hayward was going to give you, that's not something you could just replace out of nowhere. But
right, but if you had the depth,
Tatum looked, and they have depth. They have some depth.
Not as much as they did last year. And I want to put this in mind too. You said this team will be better than last year. Remember, last year's team was the number 1 seed. That means if they are not the number 1 seed this year, they are not as productive as they were last year. Putting that out there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't, like I told you in the beginning of the year, they were going to push Cleveland for that number 1 spot. They were going to give them a run for their money. And I'm still sticking by it.
Okay. They're not going to push them for the number 1 spot. The number 1 spot will be Cleveland's unless Cleveland wants to give it away, which we've seen them do before by taking rests and everything like that. But unless they don't do that, I don't see them not having the number 1 seat. And unless like this is a huge if Marcus Smart and Tatum and all them boys start playing at a different caliber level than what we think they'll play at, then no way. Kyrie cannot do it. He cannot do it on his own, not against Cleveland.
But the beauty of it is that he's really not going to have to do it on his own. He's really not.
But he
doesn't
doesn't have another big time player with him. He
Listen,
doesn't. He's got great cast.
Mark my words. This is not a hot take because I think people are going to be able to understand where I'm coming from. Tatum is going to blossom into an incredible NBA basketball player. This year.
Okay.
Listen,
he's going to be a superstar.
I watched every minute of the game. He will be a superstar.
I'm not saying all-star. I'm saying superstar.
You might not consider him superstar this year, but he will become a superstar in this league. I watched every minute of the game, and there's a lot of things that I really liked about his game. I think he needs to put on a little bit more size, okay? But his footwork is really nice. He's got good post game, and his shot, he can work on his shot a little bit, but he's not afraid to pull the trigger, and I'd always like to be able to have to pull someone back rather than tell him to give you more.
I hope you're right, because then it'll make this league even more interesting. But I don't see it happening against LeBron, Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas when he comes back, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson. Man, they got depth. They have 2 full lineups.
They didn't get blown out by Cleveland. That was a close game.
Right, but after the game was over, you also heard LeBron talking about how he's so out of shape and he needs to get back in better shape, but he can't because of his ankle and he doesn't feel right. And plus, like I said, they have all these new players. Everybody's got to get their chemistry together. Trust me, when Cleveland.
Yes, exactly. The same with Boston. Everybody's dealing with the same.
But they don't have the same caliber players. The Celtics, you can legit say, have 2 lineups that could start on another team. Literally.
The Cavs?
The Cavs, yes. They have 2 lineups that could start on another team.
Yes, they have 2 starting lineups.
And that is huge.
Yes. But listen. You can't count the Boston Celtics out. They have a solid team. And listen, I'm sure there's going to be other teams that will emerge that we're going to be talking about later down the season as well.
No. We won't. Hey. Not in the East. Not in the East. Maybe in the West.
Listen, I'm not totally sold on the fact that Cleveland's just going to run all the way to the finals again.
What? That's what they've been doing for the past couple of years, and this is the best team they've had since LeBron's been there.
It's a way more complete team, yeah. But other teams got a lot better too.
Not in the East.
Yeah, well.
All right, well,
we can sure talk about it.
We will. We'll talk about it a lot moving forward. This is just game one. We still have 81 games left to go, plus postseason. So it's going to be exciting. But we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will get back to what we were talking about in the NFL, switching paces. We're going to go back and forth, NBA, NFL, NFL, NBA. We're going to keep it moving here on the Game Plan with Cordell Moody alongside with me, Eric Alvarado. Don't change that dial. And we're back here on the Game Plan. Alongside me is Eric Alvarado. I'm Cordell Moody. We're bringing you all your sports. We're going back and forth, NBA, NFL. It's crazy. We've got so much to talk about. Like I said, it is a 2-hour special, and we're going to get right back into it. We were just talking about injuries. We talked about Aaron Rodgers going down. We talked about Miami upsetting the Falcons. The NFC, to me, seems wide open. Who do you have as the best team in the NFL, in the NFC right now?
No doubt I'm going with Philadelphia Eagles. They're just impressing me the most right now. They've been the most consistent. Aside from Aaron Rodgers, who is now down, I think they've had the most consistent quarterback play. And Carson Wentz has easily played himself into MVP talk so far.
So you're going with...
And not to mention that defense. Who has been locked down. So yeah. Cordell, I'm going with the Eagles. I know you want to go against me.
I mean, you
staying with the Atlanta Falcons or what?
See, a part of me is like, yeah, let's go with Atlanta. Because, they are the defending NFC champs. But they lost. You know what? Yes. I'm going to stay with the Falcons because even though, yes, they did lose to Miami this week, and then before their bye, they lost to Buffalo, right? Fair enough. They're sitting at 3-2 now. But the teams that they lost to aren't bad teams. We thought Miami would be bad. They seem to have been able to turn it around. The Bills have been a surprise in themselves. They're both 3-2 teams as well as the Falcons. So it's not like they're losing to some cupcakes. It's not like it's huge. Maybe we're just slacking on giving credit to Miami and the Bills because we thought that they would be bad. And maybe they're better than what people thought they were. So
I don't know because there's been other games where they just barely squeaked by and got wins, Like that game against Detroit, they were lucky to come away with a win on that one. They could easily have a way worse record than they do. And Chicago gave them a good run first week of the season. I'm really not sure what's going on with this Atlanta Falcons team. I'm sure that they'll turn it around and pick it back up. But it's like they're dealing with that Super Bowl, that post-Super Bowl slump that people like to talk about.
Okay, but since we're bringing up these games and we're bringing up who their opponents were, right? So they have one loss, and that one loss was to Kansas City. All right. Then they have wins against Washington, that's a good win, solid. Then they have a win against the Giants, garbage, we already know. All right, they had a win against the Chargers, another struggling team. Okay, we already know.
Just so everybody knows, we're talking about Philly.
Yeah, we're talking about Philly, yes. And then they have a win against Arizona, another struggling team. And then they have a good win against Carolina. So I would say they've had 2 good wins, and then the rest of those games those were struggling teams. So I know you face who you face. You can't really go off the schedule, but I'm just looking at the level of competition they've had. And I'm saying to you that the Falcons have had a higher level of competition who they faced than who the Falcons have faced. They've only lost 2 games, and Eagles have lost 1 game. So it's only 1 game difference between the two. So I'm going to, because of this, because I haven't seen, besides 2 good solid wins, I haven't seen that much to be impressed about, considering the teams that they are playing.
Okay. I mean, some of their wins have been very big, like they like exclamation marks at the end of them.
Hmm.
Like it's just sometimes it's not always exactly what the scoreboard says the score is.
Right.
It's watching the game, and a lot of the times they're super dominant, and I'm getting a little bit up on this Carson Wentz Kool-Aid.
Well, I think he's going to be great. I have no issues with
He's
Carson Wentz.
phenomenal.
Yeah, he well, I'm not going that far.
He's phenomenal.
He
He
is
makes
playing
great plays.
at a
He's
high
a great
caliber. Yes,
he's a great quarterback right now.
Yes, and the key word is right now, which is why I can't call him a great quarterback yet. But I'm saying he's headed towards greatness.
As anybody else, he's gonna have to sustain this level of
exactly.
success.
Yes. So, absolutely, I think he's great. Great playing right now. But
MVP candidate right now.
yes, I guess you can say so.
Yes.
Yes, I guess so.
Yes.
we'll see if that's sustained, but yeah, we'll see if that's sustained. I don't want to get into MVP talks just yet, but I'm still gonna stick with the Falcons as of right now, just because of the level of competition from the Eagles. I want to see more. I want to see them against more competitive people because they're 1-2. Sorry, they're 2-1 in their competitive games. I'll put it that way, against teams that are playing well. So
Yeah.
we'll see exactly where they go from here. I think it's going to be something to keep up with because it's exciting. This is going to be an interesting NFC. The AFC is just as wide open. Just real quick, off the top of your head, who would you say is the best in the AFC right now? So many teams are going up and down. Is it still Kansas City?
It's hard, I'm after what I saw last week, and I'm doing this. It's tough because if you want to take the whole body of work or just off of last week, like if I'm just going off of last week, it's definitely the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, but if you're
but
going off the whole body of work.
but they've had their fair share of struggles as well, and I think they're finally starting to really get in the groove of things. I think the more complete team might be the Kansas City Chiefs.
So
I'm gonna stick with them as they're still the number one team in the AFC.
still number
You agree?
one. I this one I do agree with. I don't have any issues with
It's
that.
close though. It's close. I think Pittsburgh is starting to make a an argument.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because Steelers did beat Kansas City. So with Steelers beating Kansas City, does that calm down all this circus act? Does that mean everything is all good?
Yes. Yeah, everything's all good. Everything's all gravy. The circus is out of town now. The only issue they had, this whole Martavis Bryant asking
Exactly.
him asking to be traded, and then I think he came out and he said that he actually didn't ask to be traded and he's happy where he is. Nobody really knows. He should probably just keep his mouth shut and stop smoking weed. But yes, I think the circus is out. The star power in Pittsburgh is strong with Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. Le'Veon Bell, 179 yards last week.
Yes, he sure did. He put on a show.
Yeah, he did, and AB did too. 8 receptions, 155 yards. It's just they're starting to click, and their defense. I told you a couple weeks ago, their defense is sneaky good, and now I don't think it's so much sneaky anymore. They have one of the better defenses in the NFL.
So your thesis is Pittsburgh is back to being Pittsburgh. All's good, no issues. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of pundits that picked Pittsburgh to go into the Super Bowl this year, and they're looking like a Super Bowl caliber team.
Okay.
It's a team. Pittsburgh's a team that you don't want to see in the playoffs.
Sure. Well, I don't believe that anymore. I really don't.
And they're dealing with and they're in. You don't believe it, but they're also in a struggling division. And if they can continue this kind of play, that team's scary. That team's scary.
So this is why I don't believe it anymore. I still am 100% under the impression that he is done. I just don't believe in Big Ben anymore. I know plenty of people are saying, "Oh, but look at what they just did. They just had this comeback, this good win." Look, he only threw for 252 yards. It's not like he lit it up and blazed everything on fire. No, he only threw for 252. Now, it's the Martavis Bryant issue that put me at pause and really confirmed what I was saying. What wide receiver do you know wants to get off of a team with a quarterback who's playing great, or thinks that they'll bounce back if they still have it in them? Like, this is a Hall of Fame quarterback that we're talking about, or a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback when we're talking about Big Ben. And
yeah, but
you don't have people who are saying that about quarterbacks unless there is something really going on here. And
no, well, I think, listen, let me just stop you there, because I think it really just comes down to Martavis Bryant. He's seeing the situation that he's in. Not that he's not on a good team and that he doesn't have a good quarterback, but, you got Antonio Brown hogging up a bunch of targets. The newly drafted Smith-Schuster, they draft him. They're high on him. They got to get their ball to Le'Veon Bell. Like, there's only so many footballs to go around, and I feel like he thinks that he's being underused and that he would have better use elsewhere. I don't think it has anything to do with he's like, oh, Big Ben's on a decline, I need to get out of here. It's just, I feel like I can make an impact on a team. It's just there's too much demand for balls elsewhere on this one, so he's looking to go elsewhere. I think that's what it is.
Martavis Bryant has 17 receptions right now for 231 yards. All right, so he is the fourth leading receiver right now behind Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Jesse James, and then it is Martavis Bryant, and he's only one behind Jesse James with 18 for 151, so he has more yards in that regards. So he is exactly where he should be. He's the number 2 receiver.
Where he should be, right?
Yes.
But he feels like he could be a number 1 or a 1B.
But I can't see that, because Martavis Bryant, even when we were trying to figure out when he was coming back, if he was ever coming back, because he kept getting suspended, he was the one talking all big about when he comes back, it's gonna be that's his spot, because they drafted they did make that draft with the young wide receiver, as you already mentioned. And he claimed his spot. He's like, nah, this guy's not coming in to take my spot. That's his spot. Number 2 is his spot. He knew where his spot was. This isn't his first season playing with Antonio Brown and Big Ben, so it's not like it's unfamiliar territory. He's exactly where he was when he before he got suspended.
I'm totally with you on that. I am. Let me make it clear. Martavis Bryant should keep his mouth shut. There, what did he think was going to happen? You were gone for a year. They went out. They draft a wide receiver that they're happy about. You were gone for a year. Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
No, I'm just reiterating. Like, listen, they stuck by you. Keep your mouth shut. They didn't get rid of you. They didn't drag your name through the mud. They kept you around on the roster. Like, just be patient. Your chances will come, and you'll get a chance to contribute. I just feel these wide receivers, man, they're divas. They're all divas. They all want to be the star of every show.
But I really don't think it's about being a star of every show. I think just like Antonio Brown showed his frustration a week before, now here comes Martavis Bryant showing his frustration. Is it a coincidence that both wide receivers, your number 1 and number 2, in back-to-back weeks showed their frustration? They showed it in different ways, but they're both showing frustration and displeasure with being in this offense. And this offense is led by Big Ben. And we're seeing Big Ben hand the ball off more than what we're accustomed to seeing. Before, it was more balanced, but now it seems like it's more of a run team. It doesn't seem like it's Big Ben's offense anymore. It seems like this offense runs through the running back, which was never the case since he got into his prime.
Do not get it wrong. This offense still runs through Big Ben. the success of this team and how far they can go is solely based on how well Ben Roethlisberger does.
All right, so here, let me put it to you this way. I'll ask you a question in this way. If Le'Veon Bell is injured for the season, how far do they go?
I think they I mean, not as far, but you'd be surprised because as good and arguably the best running back in the league, Le'Veon Bell is. They can get production elsewhere, and I think they have a good enough line where they can get enough of a run game going. Obviously, I'm not gonna say that.
Go ahead.
They're better. They're obviously not a better team. They're a worse team without Le'Veon Bell, but I wouldn't count them out.
Okay, so do you have them at least going to the playoffs, or are they not
without Le'Veon Bell?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Still in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, and if Big Ben gets hurt, you'd have them not making the playoffs. If we switch their roles, they don't make the playoffs. They don't
stand a chance. And that's not just because it's Big Ben, but that's also like when you lose your starting quarterback, that does something to your team. There's only a few instances where you can say like the starting quarterback goes down and the team doesn't miss a beat. Like Big Ben goes down, this team. Do you even know Landry Jones?
Yep, Landry Jones. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you trust him to bring you into the playoffs? No. I'd be willing to give this division to like the Ravens or something.
Well, here's my thing. If Big Ben goes down, I still give them as much of a chance to make the playoffs as if Le'Veon Bell goes down. I still give them, because that's how much of an impact. If they don't have the run game because D'Angelo Williams isn't there to run the ball anymore for them, then that was their backup. So he was still, pretty good at getting them their production. But if he's not in there, absolutely not. Their running game will not be what it is, and then you have to put it all on Big Ben, who I am no longer confident we can put it all on anymore. You
don't trust D'Angelo Williams? And whatchamacallit?
D'Angelo Williams isn't there anymore. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, but when he was out, you didn't trust him? When Le'Veon Bell was hurt?
When Le'Veon Bell was hurt, I did trust D'Angelo Williams. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But listen, they're high on this Connor kid. They like Connor.
Sure, you can like him all you want, but will he produce at the needed rate for
He's not going to put up Le'Veon Bell numbers, but listen, there is no debate here that the team is worse if they lose Ben than if they lose Bell.
I think that it is an even split. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
I think you're wrong.
I for a second I wanted to say, we should have a bet about this, but in order to do that, one of them would have to get injured, and I think we don't want that to happen. So
we don't need that.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna go that far, but I really wish we could figure out who would be right in this instance. I really do. But
we could make a poll.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Put it up on the Facebook page.
Hey, look, if we made a poll and everybody agreed with you, I could still end up being right. I'm just saying.
That's true, but let's get the general consensus from everybody else, just so we could all rub it in your face.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait. We'll see. We can put a poll out there, definitely, to see who everybody thinks is more of an impact. Is it Big Ben? Is it Le'Veon Bell? Or is it equal? We'll put it out there. We'll let our fans vote. I look forward to seeing exactly what the results will be. But we are going to take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the NFL, and then we'll get back into the NBA. So don't change that dial. You're listening to WUBA 88.1 FM with Eric Alvarado and me, of course, Cordell Moody. Be right back. And we're back here on the Game Plan, as always, with my man Eric Alvarado. We're talking sports. We're getting into it. A lot more to get into. We're going to get right back into it, talking about the NFL. And we're going to talk about the controversy, the big controversy that has happened in the Jets-Patriots game. That last play of the game What a call that was. Touchdown, non-touchdown. The ball was loose, touchback, game over. Man, what a confusing play. What did you learn from that game? What did you take away from it?
What I took away is that the refs were wearing Patriots jerseys.
Ah, come on.
Listen, man, I was so livid watching this game. And listen, to preface this, I am not a fan of either of these teams, and I had no dog in this fight. But how is it that this type of play, like, how do they rule it a touchback? Like, I know that he lost control, but it's almost clear to me that he gained control as he was landing into the pylon. To me, it's just the evidence wasn't there. It shouldn't have been insufficient amount of evidence to overturn it, especially not go touchback and then give the ball back to the Patriots. Like, I don't understand it. I totally feel like the Jets got robbed. In a game where the Jets, they had a lot of other chances to win, but that would have put them away, or the momentum would have been in the Jets' hands. And I'm just I'm heartbroken for all those Jets fans that I know, because they totally got robbed a game there.
No. We're both rooting against the Patriots, but no. Look, I thought that was very, very obvious that he lost control of the ball.
Oh my goodness!
It was very.
You're one of those
clear.
guys.
Listen, I'm only going off of what the rules say. It was clear that ball.
He gained possession he gained possession before he hit the pylon.
Right. No. He lost control of that ball
before
going
he
down.
Fell. Before he fell onto the ground, though.
The only reason he gained control back is because he fell onto the ground with the ball.
Control. It's just like it. Ah, man. Of course, the rules get bent in the Patriots' favor.
Come on. That's not even bent.
It's like the evil empire.
There is no. As soon as I saw the play, I knew. Well, that's it. That's about it for him. I was like, you can't. You fumbled the ball. You lost it. You lost it. Ball security, man. Ball high and tight.
And if anything,
high and tight. We learned that in high school. All right, keep that ball high and tight. He fumbled it as soon as I saw that they jarred the ball loose. I thought that was a great play by the defenders. I was like, I wish the Jets won. We both sat here and said we were cheering for the Jets to win this game. So I was extremely disappointed that they found a way to lose this game.
Nah, it's just it hurts because he fumbled it. If he started fumbling it outside of the end zone,
he still did not have control when he was going out of bounds.
Okay, so but if you want to consider it a fumble, he fumbled the ball outside of the end zone.
Okay.
So let's say at the 1 yard line, or like the
right, but he landed in the end zone while he fumbled the ball.
Yes, but the ball is not in his control, so it doesn't matter.
No,
so the ball should be placed back outside of the end zone.
No,
Jets ball.
Okay, so for example, no,
I don't really want to hear these rules because they're totally skewed in the Patriots' favor.
I will give you a prime example.
Let me ask you a question first. Okay. Had this been a Bills game,
I would have been so mad at the receiver for dropping the ball.
God.
I would have been livid. You have no idea. Look, we have seen this before.
Okay.
So look, we have seen it before where somebody is running with the ball and they fumble the ball and the ball goes out the back of the end zone or some crap like that. And when that happens, it's a touchback, and those are the rules. So in this situation, he fumbled the ball and it went out of bounds after it went into the end zone. Touchback. Same exact rule. No, he
fumbled the ball before he went into the end zone.
Well, obviously, if you fumble the ball after you get into the end zone, it doesn't matter. It's a touchdown. You have to fumble the ball before you get into the end zone, and if it goes out of bounds in the end zone, it's a touchback.
Before it crossed the goal line.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So That's what I'm saying. So any case that you have ever seen where somebody fumbled the ball and it went out of bounds in the end zone and it was a touchback, which I can think of cases, then it's the same in this situation. You don't just put the ball
Whichever way
back
you
at the
want to
night
dice
at
it,
the.
chop it, and put it more into Patriots' favor.
Oh man, the Patriot hate
That
is
is
real.
that is a catch.
It
There's
was a
no
catch. I don't
There's
think.
no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that he caught that, and it should be a touchdown.
No. That's where you went wrong. It was a catch, and it was a fumble. And it fumbled, and the ball, a loose ball, went through the end zone and out of bounds. Touchback. Period.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The evil empire strikes back.
They didn't do anything wrong. All they did was make a good play. That's all they did in this situation. Now, Tuck Rule, we could have a conversation about that.
Jenkins made a good play, and he scored a touchdown.
No, he didn't. He messed up a very good play that he could have had. That he could have had. No, you know what? I'm going to get off of this, and I'm going to just talk about the game itself. And I'm going to tell you what I saw from the game itself. And what I saw from the game itself was just a regular AFC East battle showdown between two opponents, rival opponents. That's what I saw. Some people are out here and the Jets are more impressive and they're better than we thought they'd be. Other people are saying, man, the Patriots really are slipping. I'm saying this is just your regular rivalry game. I'm not taking too much away from it from either side because these type of games are always close. Are you with me on this, or are you saying that you're impressed with the Jets for keeping it close and having a chance to win the game in the end? Where's your head?
I mean, my head's all over. I mean, no doubt I'm impressed with the Jets, right? I mean, that's fair to say. It's impressive, especially considering the expectations on them this year. But I think I'm more leaning towards the fact that the Patriots just aren't as good as we thought they would be.
Defensively.
Defensively, right. And when you struggle defensively, that hurts your offense. So I keep saying this every week, and I don't know when I'm going to stop, but I'm sure they will get it figured out. I just don't know when. But I don't even think it's up for debate. This Patriots team isn't as good as we thought they would be.
I think that right now they are not. They are not how we thought they would be, obviously, because we thought that their defense would be a whole lot better than it is right now. I think that the Patriots, though, are going to get it figured out sooner rather than later as far as how to. I'm not saying that their defense is going to start becoming a top 10 defense. I'm saying that they will start to mask their weaknesses in some shape, way, or fashion. How? I don't know. That's up to Bill Belichick to figure out. And then the next thing they need to make sure of is they need to make sure Tom Brady does not keep on hitting the ground because he's already injured his non-throwing shoulder. If they keep this up, and he should go down for real, that is going to be the final blow to their season. I don't care. Garoppolo cannot lead this team with that defense. I'm sorry. He will not
with
be able
that
to do
defense.
That.
No.
Yeah. So it has to be Tom Brady, and they have to make sure that they keep him up. So
yes. I don't care how good your system is. If your defense is as porous as theirs has been, there is no room for error, and there's very little success that's going to come out from it.
Exactly. So at least we can agree on that much. So to move,
don't get too used to it.
Anyways, moving forward, we're just talking about two teams who may be impressive, may not be impressive, but another team who definitely was not impressive and in 1 week made one acquisition and is now possibly back in the fight. The Cardinals.
Talk about it.
AP comes over and he does what AD does, and that's all day, every day. And we're hearing from Carson Palmer that, man, handing the ball off to him, he's always going 100%. When I hand the ball off to him, sometimes it feels like he's about to pull my arm out of its socket because of how hard he runs. And they're just so ecstatic about it. You have Larry Fitzgerald who's saying, man, if this guy was here earlier in my career, we definitely would have a ring already. The praise
bold words,
that,
right?
Yeah. So the praise that he is getting from being there. Have we really been slacking? Maybe AP is that guy who Father Time just can't take.
Well, he will take him. Father Time will get him when he decides to. But
Hmm.
especially at that position and the type of play that Peterson likes to play. But God darn, it's so fun to watch him play, is it not?
It really
Like
is.
it's just like we were just waiting for this, and he's just been chomping at the bit, ready to get at it. And he's finally in a spot where he's gonna get the touches that he deserves, and he just shined.
He really
He
did.
shined. He's still Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned,
Still Adrian Peterson.
yep. And to me,
It's
I
a spark that team needed for sure after losing David Johnson.
and I think the part that everybody was missing, why everybody's asking how can he be doing this at this age? I think it's simply because he has had fresh legs. He has extremely fresh legs. If you just think about the last 2 years, he got injured at the beginning of one season, or at the end of one season going into another. Got injured again after that. So he was out for the whole season. So he's not taking any hits and batters. He's recovering from an injury. Then he has the suspension on his hands because of the whole family dispute with his son and himself. And then he's out even longer. And now he's finally back again. And he may be 32, but he's got the workhorse of a 30-year-old in him because the 2 years that he has missed. So now he's out here and he's playing well. So now my next question is going to be, great, if AP is back, now what are they going to do when David Johnson comes back? Because he's scheduled to come back in November. So when he comes back, now you got both of them there. Is Adrian Peterson going to be happy with playing in a 1-2 system with him? Or is it time to ship him off again to somebody else?
Oh, I think what it really comes down to is what the Arizona Cardinals would be playing for come time when David Johnson comes back. Because it's obvious that David Johnson is the future.
Yes.
And Adrian Peterson is not. And if they're not playing for anything, it is not worth bringing David Johnson back for any risk of re-injury.
So
this
you're
year.
saying you would, if they're not playing for anything,
If they're not playing for anything, ride AP into the sunset.
so you just put him on IR. Is that what you're saying?
David Johnson.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's definitely a different take right there. I haven't heard that one before. So put him,
What would be the point? If he's not playing for anything and they're not going to be playing for a spot, there's no point in risking your future for nothing.
but if
Same reason why Andrew Luck probably won't play a snap this year.
oh man, that case, whew, that's something right there. But
But you know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to be playing for anything, and there's no use in risking your future for nothing. So I think they ride AP, and then come the offseason, they they just see what they can do. See if there's any interest in AP. I'm sure there'll be plenty if he can continue this. I'm sure there'll be plenty of interest.
mhm.
And see what you can get for him, or if you can talk him into splitting some snaps with. Can you imagine that 1-2 punch though with David Johnson and Adrian Peterson?
It would be something. It would be slash and dash. Honestly, those two will.
The
be-
only thing about that though, that duo, is that Adrian Peterson is a ball dominant running back,
he is
where he needs to have the bulk of the carries to
be
dictate-
Adrian Peterson.
to be Adrian Peterson and dictate the flow of the game.
Hmm.
But I mean, if they could figure out a way, gosh darn, that's a scary one too.
It really would be because, well, from what I understand, as far as Adrian Peterson's game is, he needs to be in the game and get a flow for the game. He needs to get
He's the
into a
one
rhythm.
that dictates the pace.
Right, so he needs to get into a rhythm. He needs to be out there and see exactly what defenses are doing, and he can't just be in and out to do so like that. He needs to be worked so that he can see what'll work and how to bend and break this defense. So it's going to be intriguing to see exactly how they split time, because I'm pretty sure that when David Johnson is back, they will use him, because just in case if Adrian Peterson goes down and you put David Johnson on IR, now you just got nothing again.
No. Well, what's it matter though? I mean, what would it matter if you're not playing for it? If you're putting David Johnson on the IR, it's because you're not playing for anything, and you're going to ride Adrian Peterson. And if Adrian Peterson gets hurt, God forbid,
Mm-hmm.
You go with what you had before you got him. Kerwin Williams, Andre Ellington.
I guess
You rock with that.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, I wouldn't be jumping out of my shoes for it. I always feel like you should always put yourself in the best position to win. And if you just put a healthy player on IR, I think that would rub a lot of people. Plus, I think that would rub David Johnson the wrong way because I'm sure he wants to be out there playing with his teammates.
I'm sure he does, but he's got to think about the future too. And if that's what the best interest of this team is, then I'm sure that's what they would have to do. I mean, that's just a thought. I'm sure, nobody's listening to me. Trust me.
All right, so let's change the pace a little bit. Let's get back into some NBA action. So,
all right.
Yeah, we're all over the place here today. So
I'm with it.
NBA, we already said it. NBA has officially been back since Tuesday, so it's been about 4 days now. What, 3 days? 3 days, yeah. Let me do my math right.
Yeah.
It's been 3 days now of NBA action. So what is your overall take from what you have seen? What are you most excited about? What are you looking forward to moving on? What's your
Honestly,
final four?
I'm gonna keep it very simple.
All right.
It's a little too early to get too much of a gauge on a one game into an 82 game season. But what I'm looking most forward to is more games, more stuff to look at and to analyze because it's gonna be an exciting season in the NBA, no doubt. And we just need more information to sort through before we start making any serious debates on it.
Nice.
But needless to say, these games have been pretty fun to watch.
They really this is
a few of them coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
And a lot of high scoring games. I mean that Nets Pacers game, 140 to 131, like come on.
Yeah, no defense.
There's no defense, no short of either. But exciting games.
They are, and to me, the most exciting that I've seen so far was definitely Warriors and Rockets. That was one of my favorites so far. That buzzer beater that Kevin Durant couldn't beat, man. But that to me shows exactly what's to come. And I did bring up just a second ago our final four. I want to lay out my final four teams.
Oh, you're going for it right now. You're going for it.
I'm going for my final four right now. My final four will be on the East. I'm still going to have Boston up there, but they're not going to put up much of a competition against the Cavs. And then
so you got Cleveland and Boston.
And I will go with the
Golden
Rockets
State.
And Warriors.
I mean,
Rockets
I
and
can't
Warriors.
be mad at that at all. I think I might switch out the Rockets and put OKC in there.
I can't do it.
I mean, it's debatable, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's either one of them.
So why would you do that? Why would you make that switch? What makes you feel like it's better to lean towards OKC than lean towards the Rockets?
I feel like their team's just a little bit more able to compete with the Golden State Warriors. Because Houston Rockets, the game that they're going to play with Golden State, and granted, they did win the game.
Yes.
Not for nothing. But in the series, you're not going to be able to play Golden State's game and beat them at it consistently. And Houston, that's how they play. They play very similar to Golden State, aside from the defense. But it's a very push the pace, shoot the three, and score a lot of points type of team. Now, the only way to beat Golden State is to limit their touches and chew some clock off it, and take down the shot clock every time you have possession. Slow the game down, work your isolations, and keep the ball out of the hands of Golden State.
But that's not their game. D'Antoni doesn't play slow the game down type.
Well, that's
basketball.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Houston Rockets can't do that, as well as OKC can.
So this is why I'm leaning towards the Rockets. I'm leaning towards the Rockets because of Russell Westbrook. I do not believe in Russell Westbrook
What?
at all.
Hold on. Wait. explain to me
Yes.
how you do not believe
Yes.
on the triple-double God
Yes, I do. I will.
himself.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
All right. So here's the take, guys. I'm about to educate you. So listen up.
We're listening.
All right.
Please.
So it is. Would you agree that it is easier for a player to bolster their stats when they don't have other superstars to share the ball with?
Yes.
Okay.
Easier,
right?
Yes.
You can bolster your stats, right? So I have now seen Kevin Durant. Sorry, not Kevin Durant. I have now seen Westbrook play with superstars, and I've seen him play without superstars. What I am saying is that Westbrook playing with superstars, I am nervous about, because when he did it with Kevin Durant, they were not able to ever make it where they should have made it. And they had strong teams. It wasn't like it was just Durant and Westbrook. I'm saying that Westbrook is a double-edged sword. He is somebody who dictates the pace. He's somebody who is passionate and powerful, and he is somebody who will go all out. But the fact that he will go all out can either hurt you or help you. And I'm saying that with Paul George and Carmelo there, he is not the type of person who will take a step back if another person is hot. We've seen it. Kevin Durant has been hot when he was playing with him, and he still would go out there even when he wasn't having the best of nights. And he won't give the ball to the hot hand. If he was like Steph Curry, who a superstar comes over and he'll take the back seat to whoever's hot, whether it's Clay, whether it's Durant, whether it's Green, that's what Curry does. That's what a point guard does. But he's not your stereotypical point guard. He likes to dominate the ball. And because of that, I'm saying that he is going to be the double-edged sword. He'll be the reason why you get far, but he'll be also the reason why you don't get where you should have gotten. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to share it how it should be shared.
I see what you're saying. But I think you're also talking about Russell Westbrook. He's a very smart dude. And I think now he's a little bit more mature. And he's going to realize that in order to go far, you're going to have to use these new weapons. And you're going to have to let them do what they do as well. And I think even though Westbrook is the better player, I think he's going to value Carmelo's experience and leadership enough to say, hey, listen, this is not the type of ball we need to play. Like, let me show you. Like, listen, we can do this together. This team's built for a run and success. You don't need to do it all by yourself.
If that happens, like I said, if that happens, then my whole take is completely wrong.
Yeah.
And I'll easily accept that. But I'm saying that
it's a fair take.
Yeah, from
that
what
you make. The point you're making is very fair to
Yeah.
say. And let's not forget, on paper, statistically, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and Carmelo Anthony, 3 of the top 10 most dominant isolation players in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's tough. So we're gonna see if they can gel and move the ball around and play a little bit different than what they're used to. This is also a much better team than what they're used to be playing on as well, though.
Yeah, and my last take on this is that I have always said this, and I will always continue to say this, that if Westbrook moved to the 2, and they had another and they had an actual point guard who can just be the general and get the ball where it needs to be, when they were playing with Kevin Durant, they would have probably won a chip. And I'm saying that with this team as well, if they moved him to
what they should have done, and they didn't realize it then, is they could have had James Harden play
the
point.
Right. So even in this team, if you move.
But the point, there's also a point to make that Russell Westbrook, his shot isn't his best part of his game.
It's not his best part of his game, but at the same time, a shot can be developed if he wants to work on it. To me, he's obviously a slash and dasher. He reminds me of a young D Wade. That's what he reminds me of when he used to slash and dash and get to the hoop.
Just better. though.
Yeah, yes, obviously. So I'm saying if he moved to the 2, you have Paul George at the 3, and you have Melo at the 4, and you get an actual point guard, I would be raving about this team because
I don't want to do that. You might be right if they could get like a star quality point guard, but like having Westbrook at the point is exactly what this team needs because listen, Westbrook is a great passer and he's gonna find you. You know, I guarantee you he will average double-digit assists this year, especially with his new weapons. He is a point guard. He's a scoring point guard, but he is a point guard that's looking to pass.
All right, well,
as well.
We'll see which one of our takes is going to be right, but we are going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're switching back to the NFL, and we're going to get into all of our picks moving forward for this week. Get into our records, what we had from last week. It's going to be good. Stay tuned. 2-hour special still going right here, WUBA 88.1 FM. And we're back here again on the Game Plan 2-hour special. Me, your host, Cordell Moody, alongside Eric Alvarado. Still going big, still going strong. We're getting into our picks now, man. It's time to get into these picks. We're going to talk about every team, break it down for everybody. Got a little under an hour left. Let's get into it and get these teams going. Let's get everybody excited. So first game we're going to talk about, let's talk about the Bucks at Bills. Buccaneers facing Bills. Bills are home, coming off of a bye. Bucks coming into town. Who do you have in this one?
I like the Bills coming off a bye here, and I also like their defense against Tampa Bay.
And Jameis Winston, we do not know if he's playing as of right now. It may be Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't mean to cut you off, but I also want to say this because
revenge game.
You know what? This is something that has always irked me, and it's pretty funny if you actually think about it. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a curse, and he is a quarterback killer. He has been doing this for years. All right, let me just give you the trail that he has gone. He was with the Bengals. Carson Palmer went down. He got the start. He went to the Bills. E.J. Manuel went down. He got the start. He went to the Jets. Geno Smith got punched and broke his jaw. All right? And Fitzpatrick gets the start. He's now with the Bucks. Injury to Jameis Winston. He's getting a start. Everywhere he goes, the starting quarterback goes down. This has to stop. He needs to be out of the league. I would never want him on my team. This is worse than the Madden curse.
Can I make a hot take here?
Make a hot take.
I'm going, if Tampa Bay, if Jameis Winston plays, Buffalo wins.
If Jameis Winston plays.
If Jameis Winston plays, Buffalo wins. If Ryan Fitzmagic
get out of here.
He wins this game in his return to Buffalo, revenge game, has a solid game, and they squeeze one out.
Get out of here.
That's my pick is contingent on who plays at the quarterback spot.
All right, that's fair. I obviously did the same thing before when I was talking about Mariota when Tennessee was facing Miami. But no.
Fitzmagic, baby.
There is no Fitzmagic. He's fool's gold, man. Fool's gold. This is look. This is if I guarantee you.
Don't ever get in a man's way with revenge in his heart.
No, I guarantee that this Bills defense is chomping at the bits that Fitzpatrick is the quarterback over Jameis Winston.
That's my original take.
Yeah.
Regardless, this Buffalo Bills team, this defense, will have a good game, especially coming off a bye. And listen, it's not just the Bucs offense going against the Bills defense. I like the Bills offense going against Tampa's defense.
I'm not high on the Bills defense not defense. I'm not high on the Bills offense right now, and it's simply just because of the fact that Tyrod Taylor just does not have as many weapons. Now, if they get they figured out.
He's got no weapons, to be honest.
Honestly.
He's got no weapons.
Yeah, Zay Jones right now hasn't turned out to be the player that they thought he would be coming into the league. Jordan Matthews, he's got a broken thumb. They're saying he started practicing. I'd be completely shocked if he actually played in this game. You're talking about Charles Clay. Charles Clay is out for a couple weeks, and he was the leading receiver this year, and that was his go-to guy. He's out. So it has to be that during the bye week, they figured out how to get their run game going again, because that run game has been MIA since they played the Jets. So, and that was week 1. So it has to be on that. And or if Zay Jones wants to step up, then fine. And he wants to be the new guy, that's cool. If that happens, then fine. But I'm not high on their offense right now. They have to show me that they've actually done something over the bye week before I do. But I am going to go with the Bills because of the defense, as you brought up already. And I think that the defense will be able to keep them in the game long enough for Tyrod to pull something out.
I got to agree, but I've told you if Fitzmagic plays, Fitzmagic wins.
All right. Well, I'm telling you right now, if you want to believe in fool's gold, you go right ahead. But going from my team to your team, Ravens at Vikings, where are you going in this game? Are you going with the Ravens, or you switching over to the Vikings here?
Listen, I try, especially for our show, to keep my bias aside.
Mm-hmm.
And I will do that here. And I don't think that Baltimore gets a win here in Minnesota. And it doesn't matter who's playing at quarterback. I don't see the Ravens offense getting anything going against Minnesota's defense. Joe Flacco, he's got to be able to turn it around and get some better. We got to get some better play out of the quarterback spot, because I'm tired. Listen, this is the first year that I've started to doubt Joe Flacco's ability. Every other year, there's been ways to give him excuses, and there's been reasons for it. This year, I know that the offensive line is totally depleted, but it's just he's got the weapons. There's no reason why he can't produce more than what he's doing. So in order for Baltimore to be successful, you need better quarterback play. It's just I don't see them getting anything going against Minnesota. Like their receivers. I mean, listen, talk about revenge game. Another one coming with Mike Wallace going back to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
It's just him going up against Xavier Rhodes and that Minnesota defense. It's just tough, man. It's tough, and I see Minnesota coming away with this one.
I'm going to agree with you, so I guess we're going to go 2 for 2 between you and I. And I'm going with the Vikings as well in this game. And I'm actually really excited for the Vikings moving forward because Teddy Bridgewater's back in town. Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater, man.
And I'm interested to see what they're going to do, because now we're hearing that Sam Bradford's knee injury is worse than the Vikings are letting off to the media. So maybe Teddy Bridgewater comes back and claims the position he lost because of injury. It's like their roles may be switching here, and Teddy Bridgewater's coming back at the perfect time. Or Teddy Bridgewater comes back, and then Sam Bradford comes back, and now we have a little bit of a controversy on who's taking what, because both of them are starting quarterbacks in my eyes.
Yeah.
So, but keeping it on just this game, I am absolutely going with the Vikings, and it's for the reasons that you've already said. And I'm really shocked at how far Joe Flacco has fallen. I really am. I don't know what's changed from this year, from previous years. You can't sit here and tell me he's getting old. He's not old. So,
not old enough to be playing.
Yeah. So I don't know what has happened. Maybe they need a change in command at offense. You guys have gone through offensive coordinators in the past, and that's helped you
many times.
So maybe that's something that you guys need to do in this case. I have no idea. But until you guys get it together, until the Ravens get it together, I just don't know if I can feel confident in any of their games moving forward this year. Maybe against the Browns, but besides that,
I'd hope so. But it's tough when the offense struggles. It really puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and it exposes the defense in a way where it's giving you an unfair judgment on the quality of defense we actually have.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they're out on the field for so long, it's tough to get stops consistently.
Yeah.
So you get gashed, and it's making the defense look worse than it is, because the defense actually is the bright spot of this team. It's just the woes from the offense really put a lot of burden on the defensive shoulders.
Yeah, so with the Ravens, we're both gonna go with the Vikings, but with the Ravens, their X factor, the main thing they need to do is they need to maintain drives. If they maintain drives, they'll have a chance to win this game. If not, it's going to be a long day for the Ravens yet again. But moving on from the Ravens and Vikings, let's get into a division rivalry game. Let's talk Jets at Dolphins. Jets, heartbreaking loss to the Patriots. Dolphins upset the Falcons. Both teams coming together. It's at Dolphins. Where are you going with this one?
Hey, why not? I'm going with gangrene. And I think that it's just, it's going to be a close one, divisional game. And McCown's been playing a little bit better than people want to give him credit for. And I think that he's just going to be able to do enough to put the Jets over Miami. And I don't see Jay Cutler being able to do like much at all.
Well, I am going to go the other way. I think Jay Cutler is finally turning it around a little bit. I think that
oh my goodness.
I'm not saying that he's going to break out or anything, but I think he is becoming a game manager in a sense. And I think he's getting it together with his weapons, and they're getting this offense turned a little bit here. I'm not saying they're pushing for anything, but I think they have enough to beat the Jets, is what I'm saying.
Well, the way they need to win this game is they need to get Ajayi going.
That's exactly what I was
get him going
about to say.
early to take a lot of pressure off Jay Cutler. If you can get that going, then open up the play action for Jay Cutler to do what he does best.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going, because as I already stated, the Bills obviously had only one good running game this entire season, and it was against the Jets. So Jay Ajayi now comes into town. Jay Ajayi, if they get him going, I see a successful offense moving forward with Miami. So I'm going to take Miami in this game. I'm betting on Jay Ajayi here, and that Jay Cutler can do enough to keep this offense sustained and moving forward. I think it'll be a close game, just like the Patriots-Jets game was. It'll be fun to watch for anybody who cares to sit down and watch this game. I'm going with the Dolphins. You're going with the Jets. It's our first split. So we'll first split so far. For those who don't know, we are keeping track of exactly where we are. We already tallied it up the first 2 weeks, and we are both tied at 13 and 14. So we're gonna see who's gonna break this tiebreaker coming into this week, unless we.
Cordell gained some ground last week. I was up a game on him.
I told you, one game at a time, man. One game at a time.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just keep my head down and keep chopping.
Yeah. So two teams coming off of big victories. AP and the Cardinals going up against Golf and the Rams.
Yep.
And this is exciting to me. I really don't know which way to go. Am I going AP? Is he going to school Todd Gurley and show him how it's really done out there?
It's going to be a fun game to watch running back wise, because as much as people thought the Rams defense was going to be dominant this year, their run defense has been terrible, and people have been running all over them. And Gurley's been running all over everybody. I'm still going to go with Goff and the Rams in this one. But not to take away from the performance that Adrian Peterson might have this game.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't expect him to have the type of game that he had last week, but it's going to be another Adrian Peterson-esque game. But it just won't be enough for Goff and the Rams.
And I have to agree. I hate the fact that we're agreeing so much. I've been riding with the Rams.
I got takes coming up.
All right, so I definitely have the Rams. I've been riding the Rams all season, and I've been telling you I believe in this golf Kool-Aid that I've been drinking. But again, they're still not doing enough for me. They still haven't gotten their receivers involved enough for me to be happy with. So we'll see if they actually get that going. If they get that going, this would be a team truly to be reckoned with. So I'm definitely going to take the Rams along with you. Let's get into this one more game before we go into break. I want to squeeze this one in. Jaguars at Colts. Jags at Colts. Now, you got the Jags, who we keep on saying the Jekyll and Hyde team, and then the Colts just fell to their division rival in Tennessee on Monday night. I'll go first on this one, and I'll tell you straight up, I'm taking the Jags. I think the Jags.
Me too.
Right? Okay.
I'm with you.
Yeah, the Jags are definitely, to me, the team that's going to take this, because Tennessee Titans defense is not that great. And I saw I saw a lot of struggle from the Colts. So I think that the Jags, they're going to get after him. Now, I don't believe in Blake Bortles at all, but I think that this defense is going to get after him, and they're going to take him down.
Leonard Fournette, if he plays, I know he was dealing with some type of injury, but Leonard Fournette's going to run all over these guys, and it's just a game that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win, and I have no doubt in my mind. I picked them last week to win, and they let me down, but so is the Jekyll and Hyde team.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so far we've gone through a good couple of games. We'll be taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get back into more picks, talk about more teams. If your team hasn't come up, don't worry. We will get to your team. So just stay tuned. We'll be right here, WUBA 88.1 FM. We're back here on the Game Plan. It is Friday. Thank the Lord it's Friday. We're going into the weekend, and we're sitting here talking to you guys about all the picks because we got a lot more to get into. Picks for this Sunday. So we just left off. We were talking about Jags at Colts. Now let's get into a game that I think we may have a little controversy on here. Saints at Packers. All right.
I believe this will be another split for us, huh?
I truly believe so too. So
all right, you know what? Since I already get a feeling of what you're doing here, why don't you go first and give us your take?
All right, here we go. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, and you heard it here live from me first. All right, Cordell Moody, just letting you know, Brett Hundley, he's going off in this game. All right, listen to me. Don't laugh.
Give us an idea of what the stats are going to be like for Hundley.
He's going over 300. He's throwing over 300. I promise.
Okay, and how many TDs?
I'm gonna say over 300 yards
what?
Over 300 yards. We're going with threes here. We're playing with threes. Over 300 yards and 3 TDs.
3 picks too, or
2? Nope. I'm gonna say 3 TDs, 300 yards, 1 pick.
That's a game right there.
You darn
that is
right.
A game, and that is a hot take.
You better believe it. Book it.
We need to get like a button here for the show that when there's a hot take, we press it and it's like sirens or somebody screaming hot take or something, so everybody knows when it's coming or when it happened.
Yep, we you know what? We'll do that. We'll put it in here because I'm telling you right now, you book it. I got Packers. They're winning this game. All right, it's at Lambeau. I already know that the Saints are not the same when they're playing away, like when they're home. Their defense is still suspect. It looks like it's playing a little well, but I still think that this offense without Aaron Rodgers is still going to put up over 300 yards.
I mean, against the New Orleans Saints, it's not saying much, but for reasons that are obvious to everybody, my pick is with the New Orleans Saints.
I'm so sorry to hear that. What's your? It's just because of Aaron? That's it. It's just because Aaron Rodgers. That's your whole argument. Aaron Rodgers.
It is because and only because of Aaron Rodgers being down, and also because. Well, no, I can't say that because both of these defenses are not great.
Yep.
It's just Drew Brees against a bad defense. I'm taking over Hundley over a bad defense any day.
All right. Well, I this game, I truly look forward to seeing which one of us is right on this one.
I'll be tuning in. I'll be watching intently, and I can't wait to watch it. I was planning on watching this game anyway because it's supposed to be the two gunslingers going at it, Wild Wild West style. But now we get Hundley versus Drew Brees, and we'll see what happens.
Old school versus new school. Watch out. Here it comes. All right. So, also, another young buck who's getting his third start now. Mitchell Trubisky. He's home. He's hosting the Panthers. Do you think the Panthers go for a second loss? 2 losses 2 weeks in a row? You think Mitchell Trubisky gets the upset here? What's your take?
I don't see Trubisky getting a win. I know Chicago's coming off a nice win against Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
where it was more of the running game that they leaned on. And I think this game they're going to have to rely more on Trubisky to win, but I just don't see them getting past Carolina. And I also don't think that Chicago's defense is going to have enough to stop Cam Newton.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to go with the Panthers on this one, too, to bring things back down a notch from where I just was.
I think it's going to be closer than some people would give.
I don't know, because I just don't think that I think Trubisky's going to have a long day against Carolina's defense.
He's going to have a long season. We talked about it when he took the spot, that his initial stretch of games was going to be tough.
Yeah, and
he had tough sledding for sure.
Absolutely, but what I'm saying is this game in particular is going to be a long day. They're going to come after him. He's going to get hit. He's going to get knocked down. They're going to throw some things at him that he may not be accustomed to. I definitely see interceptions being thrown by him in this game. Honestly, Cam Newton's coming into his own more and more each week. It's pretty easy for me, and I think it's easy for everybody to understand why I'm going with the Panthers in this game. So, and plus on top of that, I fully believe that the Panthers defense won't have an issue covering the weapons of the Chicago Bears.
The what?
The weapons of Chicago Bears.
Yeah, the what? What weapons?
Yeah. So
you're right.
Yeah, so we're both going with the Panthers there on that one. Now let's go to the Titans. The Titans coming off of a good win Monday night, going against the, what are they now? 0-5, 0-6. I'm losing track of it, right? You know, the O's just stays the same, so it is what it is. But yeah, the winless Browns, all right, going up against the Titans. Browns are at home. Do the Titans get upset in this game? Is this upset alert? Do they get one on the board, just like the Giants got their one on the board?
No, this is not a hot take. We're not making any hot takes in this game. Tennessee's, they come into Cleveland and they get a win. They rely on everything and anything they need to win this game, and Cleveland has no answer. No answer.
Yeah,
I don't even care. I don't even care. Like, is there even an argument to this? I mean, they're making the quarterback change for Hogan. Tennessee's got a poor defense, but does it even matter?
At this point right now, no, because I just don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Their quarterback is just sloppy play, man. They really need to get this quarterback thing together. And until they do, I rather take the Browns for the rest of the year. Losing.
Can we just not talk about their games?
No, we can't do that. We can't disrespect their fans.
That's not fair. That's not. Can I just say something though about their fans?
Go for it.
Most loyal people ever, right?
No.
Dude,
One of.
They stick by their. Listen, it's hard to be this bad and still have a fan base.
Right, but they're not the only ones.
They are fans, and I made a promise to somebody that I know that is a Browns fan. I was gonna shout him out. Steve, if you're listening, shout out to the only Browns fan that I know. Good luck, buddy. I'm sorry for your struggles.
Look, but, this is not the first team to do this. Just to talk about them a little bit, let me give them a little love. Now, I'm not going to say that they have the best fan base because, you know what? The Lions went 0-16, all right? They had the best.
But they have success.
Now they have success.
Yeah, but occasionally
they did. They were just as bad as we were talking the Browns. They figured a way to turn it around.
Not just consistently though. Not for this consistently long though. The Browns have been consistently bad, year in and year out, every year. Borderline winless.
I guess you could put it that way if you want to put it that way, but
it's just the way that the organization is run. Like, at least, Detroit, they found a franchise quarterback in Matthew Stafford. They're just dealing with some other ways that they couldn't get wins, but this team in the Browns, they are going through quarterbacks like underwear. Every day it's a new one.
Yeah, well,
now even this year they're switching on and off every other game.
They are. So, but I mean,
it's like they're picking a quarterback based on matchup. It's like
fantasy football.
Coaching staff is playing fantasy football with their own team.
Oh man, Cleveland. All right, well,
I just got a little heated about the Cleveland Browns here.
I see. You
I
see
can't,
this.
I can't let a team like that get me boiled up a little. You know,
All right.
can't be
Well,
wasting energy on the Browns team here.
well, a team
Sorry
that
to all our Browns fans out there.
definitely does have heat on them that people do get heated about. Cowboys. Cowboys are at 49ers. Ezekiel Elliott will play in this game. He's found a way to make it happen. He will be playing in this game. Are the Cowboys coming away with a victory here?
Hot take.
Oh, upset alert! Upset alert!
Upset alert. Yes. 49ers find a way to win at home. And can I just tell you something? Here's another hot take. I see CJ Beathard, quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, having a good game against this Dallas defense. I really do. And I see that I seen it in my dreams. I'm just the messenger. I see Dallas losing this game to San Fran.
Wow.
I just see it. I just feel it in my gut.
Go with it, because
You know me when these guys like I made one last week. What was my gut feel?
you had a gut feeling about the Steelers, I believe.
Yeah, and I still picked Kansas City.
You did.
But my gut, and this is why I'm going with my gut from now on. My gut. Oh no. It was the Miami too. It was Miami.
Mm-hmm. The two of them. Mm-hmm.
The two big ones. I felt it in my gut, and I even mentioned it on there. And I'm feeling it here, and I'm not gonna ignore it. I'm seeing San Fran winning this game.
All right, I'm going with the Cowboys. I'm staying safe here. So I'm gonna split with you.
That is a safe pick. I can't argue with you on that. It's just sometimes when you feel it, you got to relay that message, man.
Well, honestly, with Zeke playing, I think that Zeke will have a nice game. I think Dak will have a nice game. The two of them together,
For sure.
usual.
The core players of Dallas will still have a good game. It's just they find a way to lose it, is what I'm saying.
All right.
It's not that San Fran totally outplays them. It's just Dallas finds a way to lose this one.
Okay,
CJ Beathard. I'm telling you, Beathard. I have trouble saying his name. CJ Beathard.
Yes.
Has a good game.
Okay, so we're gonna split on this one. I'm taking Cowboys. You're taking 49ers. So we have how many splits do we have now? We got. I'm taking Cowboys. You're taking 49ers. I'm taking Packers. You're taking Saints.
I think I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. I'm gonna remove my contingency and I'm just gonna stick with Tampa Bay.
So you're taking Tampa. Okay,
Yeah,
fully.
regardless. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got Broncos at Chargers. Broncos decided to give up a gift to the Giants. And now we have the Chargers who finally got their victory, 2 under their belt. So who do you have in this one? Do you see another upset? Do you see the Chargers finding a way to beat their division rival in the Broncos? It is at Chargers, but then again, that doesn't really matter.
So it's basically in Denver.
It's basically.
Yeah, I don't see Denver dropping two games in a row, especially after the heartbreaking loss to the nobodies in the Giants. But I definitely see Denver coming into the Chargers Stadium, if you can even call it Charger Stadium, and getting a win. And I see the defense of the Broncos giving Phillip Rivers fits.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do think that the Chargers are going to make this a tight game. I think it's.
It'll be a good game.
Yeah.
It might be low scoring.
Okay, so no, I don't see it as. I don't see it as low
it being
scoring.
a high scoring game.
Yeah.
I see it being a low scoring, good game. It's just Phillip Rivers has a long night going against that Denver D.
Well, don't forget about Melvin Gordon. Don't they got a run game there too?
I forgot.
Yeah. So I think
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. So and they got Mike Williams back now. Keenan Allen's still there. I think that you know what. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm going on a whim right now. I may regret this on Sunday when I wake up and I'm like, man, I probably shouldn't have gone that way.
I'm not too mad at the pick. It's just
I think
it's just too risky for me to take.
I think Chargers I can't say at home, but the Chargers in
At
this
home.
in this game.
On paper, it's at home.
On paper, yes. At home, in this game, division rival. I think the Chargers come away with the W. I think they split for the season because I'm obviously going to take the Broncos at Mile High later on in the season. So, yes, I'm taking Chargers. We got another split between you and I. Just going on a whim here. I don't know why. It's just
Fair
a
enough.
whim, an urge that came over me. I probably shouldn't follow my urges, and I should think more rationally.
I got to say something about Melvin Gordon. I don't think he can get much going against this Denver D, but we'll see.
Well, I think that something is going to have to give. I don't think they're going to shut down the Chargers completely. I think something's going to have to give. So if they focus on Melvin Gordon, I think that they'll be able to get their passing game going a little bit. And once they get their passing game going a little bit, Melvin Gordon will be able to get going a little bit because then they'll have to back off. So I think the Chargers are just a balanced team. They just keep on finding ways to lose games. And I'm saying in this game, they will not find a way to lose this game. So, but let's move on. We just talked about Broncos. We just talked Chargers. Another divisional game, Bengals at Steelers. Where you go? You know, I'll go. I'll lead on this one.
Please.
I'm taking Bengals.
Me too.
There you go. I'm taking Bengals. I told you I'm not high at all on Big Ben. I think that the Bengals are definitely gonna come into this game. And they've been turning their season around. They've been playing better since they got rid of their offensive coordinator. I think it continues in this game. I think they put the points on the board, and I think that the Steelers. I think Big Ben has another long day.
I don't know if he has necessarily a long day. It's just, listen, this doesn't take away from the fact that I still think the Steelers are arguably the best team in the AFC still. But I got to tell you, I said it last week. And listen, I know the Steelers just as much as anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is Steeler-like. A couple weeks ago, they lost to the Bears badly. And I said it'd be so Steeler-like for them to go into Kansas City and get a win. They go into Kansas City,
They get
a win. Coming high off of beating the NFL's best team, going into their home stadium, they're going to drop this one to Cincinnati.
All right.
And A.J. Green and Andy Dalton will have a monster game.
Yes, that's exactly right. So, again, we're gonna agree, and we're going with Bengals. This
Who would have thought that though? That was like
I thought we were splitting.
You thought you were making. Nah, it's not so much a hot take. It's a divisional game, and
But I definitely did think we were gonna split. I thought you really were gonna take the Steelers on that one, so I'm a little surprised.
I'm going with Cincy.
Well, I think I know where we're both going with this game, unless you want to surprise me. Seahawks at Giants.
Oh no.
Seahawks at Giants. I'm saying there's no way the Giants offense is productive against this defense. No way.
Seattle comes in and says, "What were you thinking winning a game with this kind of roster?" Like, it's just it's going to be hard to watch. I think it's going to be one of those type of games.
Mm-hmm.
But now, we're making these picks, and we got to say, like, anything can happen in the NFL, especially this year.
Barring any serious injury.
Barring any serious injury, and regardless of it, like, it's just obviously regardless of injury, because the Giants their entire offense is injured, and they got that win. So even regardless of injury, it's just anything can happen, especially this year in the NFL. And I got to say, I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants got this win. It's just I wouldn't put money on it, and I'm going with Seattle.
No way.
Convincingly.
Yes. Very convincingly. There is no way this game is going to be an upset. If that happens, I really do not know what I would think about the Seahawks. I really don't. I could not fathom it. So we're both going to go with Seahawks for obvious reasons. Their defense is going to shut down what little offense they have left for the Giants, and then obviously that's just going to take a toll on the Giants' defense, and Seahawks are just going to grind this thing out, and I definitely see them winning by at least 20 points. At least.
I mean, I can't put a number on it, but it's going to be very convincingly. Yeah. For sure.
A game that I think is not going to be as convincingly, though.
Oh, can I just say these last two games that we got here?
Yeah.
Are arguably the two best games, I think, will be these last two this week.
Oh, well.
I think these last two games are going to be two of the best games of the week.
Okay. Well, you know what? Since you believe that, let's take one more commercial break, and when we come back,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about these last two games that's got Mr. Alvarado over here hype for this week. So stay tuned. Don't change that dial. WUBA 88.1 FM. The Game Plan. And we're back. Last segment, last couple of games. We've been talking sports. We've been talking NBA early in our first hour. We're in our second hour now. We're doing all the picks going into this week. Now we're down to our last two games. Two games that's got Mr. Eric Alvarado over here hype. Last two games, he says these are the best two games. Maybe that's why they're both on Sunday night and Monday night. Who knows? So let's get into it. This one to me is exciting. I will agree with you on this one. This one's extremely exciting. Falcons get their get a chance to get a little bit of payback. You can't get the full thing because this isn't the Super Bowl.
Right.
But you can get a little bit of payback.
I love these games, the Super Bowl rematches the following year.
Mm-hmm.
I love these games. They're always fun.
Yep.
And I think it's just two teams that you want to see go at it again, given the circumstances that happened in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so let's get into it, man. I mean, Falcons at Patriots. Who you got? You think the Falcons all of a sudden they get a little bit of payback and they shut down the Patriots in this game? You think the Patriots decide that this is the week that they finally turn things around and they look like the Patriots again?
Well, this should be the get-right game for the Falcons. But even though New England got the win last week, this is a get-right game for New England. And they get back to looking like New England. And I'm pretty sure that New England's already lost 2 games at home. And
Yes.
that's rare. And I find it hard to believe that they'll lose 3 games at home. So I'm going with New England on this one. But it will be fun. It's going to be a fun game.
It's interesting. I thought you and me would split, but we're still not going to split. I never had faith in the Falcons winning the Super Bowl last year. I didn't have faith even when they were up 25. I actually sat down and watched the game, and I was like, these guys don't even know what's about to happen to them. I've seen Brady do it too many times, so I wasn't surprised when he did it then. And I know obviously they don't have the same. They're not playing the same caliber of defense right now, the Patriots, but I see 0-3 coming your way for the Falcons as far as AFC East opponents. This is going to be their third loss against AFC East opponents in a row, too. Man. Not just 3 losses to AFC, but all in a row.
All in a row. Line them up.
Yep. First Bills, Miami. Now I see he's going up against the Patriots, and I think that they're going to get another loss. You just can't tell me that the Falcons are right. And I don't think that they're going to – this is not the team you get right against. You don't get right against Bill Belichick.
No, but this is like given the circumstances of the last 2 games for Atlanta, this is the get right game for them. It should be. This would be the time. It's just unfortunately you're facing the New England Patriots at home. They've already lost 2 games at home. Mm-hmm. They're already upset because they're not playing up to standards.
Yep.
Trust me, this is not the team you want to be going up against right now.
All right, so I'm taking Patriots to win this game, and I'm going to say it's going to be a nice close nail-biter. I'm going to say 28-31 Patriots.
That was close. Yeah, it was close. I was going 27-24.
27-24, yeah. 28-31 Patriots in this game. I think the Patriots get a field goal at the end. It'll be tied up 28-28. Field goal, go up 31-28, and that'll be all said and done right there. So to our last game, another divisional game.
I just like this divisional game. Every time they play.
Yeah, I believe this is their second time playing against each other.
Yes.
Right? So
yeah, Philly won that one.
Philly won the first one. So do the Redskins come back and split this, or do the Eagles sweep the Redskins?
Eagles sweep the Redskins. Unfortunately, the Redskins, I think in another nail biter. And it's going to be a fun game to watch. I like a lot of the players in this game. I like Carson Wentz a lot. Aguilar's really been stepping it up. They finally got a bruising running back in Blunt, and I don't think anybody's really talking about this guy in Washington, but what's it, Chris Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
the running back?
Yeah.
He is absolutely incredible. He is I think there what was the stat that they were saying? He was going for 1,000 yards, and oh man, we got to look that stat up because it's important that everybody hears it because it's something absolutely ridiculous. Can you give me a second, Cordell? What's your pick on this game?
So for me, obviously, in this game, I'm gonna go with the Redskins. I really am. Just as well as Carson Wentz is playing, Kirk Cousins isn't playing bad himself. Kirk Cousins is playing and showing that he deserves the money and he should be getting it soon. Unless you want to lose him, which I don't think you should at this point, because every time you ask him to prove it, he goes out there and he's proven it. He's being extremely productive. He's pushing the ball downfield. He's making plays. And I just don't think that the Redskins can afford to lose this game. They can't afford to be swept. And because of that, I think they're going to be hungrier to come out here and get this win. They already lost at their own house to the Eagles. I'm sure they want to give a payback to them, give them the L at their home, split the season, and go on from there and compete to see who's gonna take it at the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you're totally right that they can't afford to lose this game. It's just I see them actually losing this game. And back to that stat about Chris Thompson real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's on pace to become just the 4th player in NFL history who's gotten 100 carries and gets 1,000 yards receiving. One more time. He's on pace to be the 4th player ever in the history of the NFL to have gotten 100 carries in a season and also have gotten 1,000 yards receiving, with the most recent player being Marshall Faulk. Some good company.
That is some very good companies.
Some very good company.
And look,
and the way they're playing right now, he's looking like their number 1 receiver right now.
Yeah, but all right. So for me, what I'm trying to say is, if the Redskins lose this game, they're not winning this division.
If they lose,
if they lose this game,
they're not winning this division regardless.
No. I don't believe that for a second. I think that if they split with the Eagles, I believe that they still have a very good chance of winning this division. But if they lose, their chances are gone, 100%. You can't get swept by the Eagles and still beat them for this division. I don't believe so. But if you split with them, then the chips may fall. The chips will fall where they fall, because then it's up to whoever else they play moving on through the season and how well they play and if they drop the ball. But I don't think they're going to drop the ball so much as far as the Eagles that you can still win the division even if they swept you. I don't think they're going to drop the ball that much.
I just think the Eagles are rolling. They're coming into Philadelphia, hard place to play in, and I see this defense putting the clamps down and Carson Wentz having a great game. But I do see this being a very close game. We know a lot of Eagles fans that are pretty excited this year.
Of course, and as they should be. There's no one saying that they shouldn't be. I'm just saying that don't count out the Redskins. Don't count out Kirk Cousins.
Oh, don't count them out. Don't look past them. It's a division game, and they're going to give them a hard game to play. But I just, we're looking at it differently. You're going Washington. I'm going Philly.
Yeah, so we have just covered all the games. We've done a beautiful 2-hour special. I'm so happy to do it. Of course, we
got to do more of these.
We weren't able to get on air on Tuesday or Wednesday due to a lot of different difficulties going on, but we're glad to get on here, give everybody what they've been waiting for all week. We
missed you guys.
We've missed everybody extremely. There's been so much that we were talking about. It's unbearable.
I had so much on my chest. It was eating me alive. I had to let it out. And it was good to be able to do this. And hopefully that we won't have to do this again. But if we have to, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, no problems at all. But obviously you hear the beat, so we're about to go off air here. But it has always been a pleasure. This is the Game Plan, WUBA 88.1 FM. Eric Alvarado from Cordell Moody. We're saying have a good weekend. Enjoy these games. We'll be back here Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. Back to our scheduled program. Till then, peace.
See ya.